Meet the most capable CR-V Honda has ever dreamed of. The all-new CR-V Trail Sport Hybrid. With all-terrain tires and available enhanced traction control, it's built for wherever the day takes you. Heated front seats and a heated steering wheel, ideal for winter drives and crisp early starts. And with generous cargo space, it's ready for big gear and even bigger getaways. The CR-V Trail Sport Hybrid. Learn more at honda.com/CRV.
Rated T for teen.
Each year, thousands of adults lose their shred. It's an epidemic simply known as shred loss. But it doesn't have to be this way. Because rekindling your shred is as easy as playing the new Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 and 4. And with new parks, cross-platform multiplayer, and sick new game modes, we can put an end to shred loss everywhere. Get the new Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 and 4 and show the world that the shred's not dead. Pre-order Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 and 4 and play the Foundry demo.
War Eagle, and welcome to Ever to Podcast, our somewhat regular get-together in audio format here at E2C Network, where we share the Auburn experience, which is all about, to us, Auburn sports, Auburn culture, and Auburn family stuff. An easier way to say it might be, though, if it's orange and blue, it's what we do. So thank you so much for joining us and what we're going to be doing today in Ever to Podcast, episode 36. Today's date is July 3rd, 2025. As always, we want to welcome you here. I'm your host, Kyle Loomis, to catch you up on the latest Auburn news, scuttlebutt, discussions that are happening out and about social media and wherever they're happening. We're going to talk today a little bit about the reveals that Auburn had with their uniforms and Nike. We're going to update you on a little bit of something you can get involved with at Toomer's Corner coming up very soon. And we'll also talk about an update of a very important addition, it wouldn't be an addition, but a remaining of the men's golf roster, and maybe some other news in there as well, depending on time. So let's jump into it. We're going to start off with, obviously, what's consumed a lot of the Auburn fandom this week, and that is Auburn and Nike. We have already celebrated the beginning of that and teased that yesterday they began to show you what the upcoming fall sports uniforms were going to look like. We saw everybody from soccer, volleyball, which are your traditional other sports for the fall. People forget that equestrian and track and field, in terms of the cross-country team, also participate in the fall and to some extent. So they were also revealed as well. So far, including the one we're going to talk about in a little bit more detail, because I know that's the one that y'all are probably the most interested about. Don't forget that if you are interested in seeing about what the new look, even if it's just a logo change, there's some things there that are a little bit different. You can go see Auburn soccer, Auburn volleyball, track and field, and equestrian. I think it's warm-up gear for them, not necessarily their full uniforms, because if you've ever seen equestrian, they wear some different things for different events. So that's at least something that they use that is Nike type of gear. Those programs, go check them out. I don't know enough about the details within them to see what's much changed on their uniforms. But what we can talk about is the football uniforms which were revealed this morning. So we have seen a full gamut of it. We have seen home and away, the whites, the blues, all of that. And as predicted, not much has changed. A lot of you set yourself up for some big disappointment and weren't listening to Clint Richardson of the Auburn Uniform Database. We've tried to warn you here that there was not going to be a lot of big changes, at least in year one. However, you do have a brand new logo, and so you can see it for the first time. Auburn no longer houses that Under Armour logo on their football uniforms. They have the Nike one, just like they did with the other sports we've been talking about already. I think one of the big things that I'm seeing talked about in the reveal, other than that there's not a lot of changes, we warned you about that, is the fact that the letters, the numbers specifically too, feel like they're a little bit bigger. I've tried to look at it a couple times, and maybe I'm just not privy to those amount of changes. Maybe it looks a little bit bigger to me, but most people online are saying not much change. However, I do like that the numbers, the lettering, the nameplate looks a little bit more prominent, maybe a little bit larger. So if you haven't seen it yet, I would highly encourage you to go and look at it to see if you agree with everybody. Are the numbers bigger? Are the letters bigger? Is there any other changes that are missing? Because they give you some, not just a video of what the reveal is, but some detailed close-up looks of some of the stitching and things like that. So if you're really interested in that, if you're still excited about Auburn and Nike, you have gotten the uniform reveals for you for the fall sports completely now. I don't think that they're going to be doing anybody else at this time. That should be everybody else. Technically, tennis and golf have fall events as well. So it'll be interesting to see if they do those later on down the line. Who knows, but you can go look at it right now. Let's talk about an event that you, the Auburn family, can get involved with. And we've been talking a lot about Toomer's Corner lately here, which I do love because it's one of the best things about being an Auburn person is Toomer's Corner, the celebrations, everything that goes on there. Well, you have an opportunity. This was announced by Auburn University yesterday to be a part of showing off the greatness that is the Auburn family and Toomer's Corner. So if you know Eli Manning, obviously he's not an Auburn person, but he's a big sports hero, celebrity, obviously a great football player, was at Ole Miss. But he, since his retirement, has been a lot involved in media. He's been doing this series called Eli's Places, and he's been visiting a lot of places, I guess, telling their stories and unique things. And clearly a town that rolls their trees after big events, big sporting events, and other things too. It's the whole of the Auburn experience. It's part of the reason we talk about the experience here. He is coming to showcase that and try to help set a Guinness World Record by rolling Toomer's Corner like never before. So I guess this is the amount of like people that roll it at one time. I think we probably broke that record with the last roll. So I'm not as sure exactly what he's trying to do. But Tuesday, July 8th, you can come to Auburn and help be a part of it. You can be in the filming of an episode of Eli's Places and set that Guinness Book of World Records. You're going to be gathering on Sanford Lawn around 4:30 p.m. Central Time. The rolling starts at 5. This is, again, Tuesday, July 8th. They want students, they want alumni, they want fans, faculty, staff, everybody. If you are a part of the Auburn family and you got time to come there, please go join them. I, unfortunately, would love to be there and probably would show up for this, even as far away as I live. But I will be gone next week for festivities for a family wedding. So, unfortunately, I can't be there, but I hope so many of you that are hearing this will go participate and show out like I know the Auburn family should and can. Here's an update for you about Auburn men's golf. Now, I know a lot of you don't tune in to it outside of probably the end of the season when the championships are going on, and why wouldn't you? Because they, up until a month ago, they were the reigning national champions, weren't able to defend their title, that being men's golf. Women's golf under Coach Llewellyn has also been very strong. Anna Davis is someone that's was in the individual championships at the end of the year for us. But today we're going to be talking about probably the star of collegiate golfing, but of the Auburn men's golf team, and that's Jackson Koivun. There's been a lot of talk around him. How he was a freshman phenom. He was big reason why Auburn, even won the championship. And frankly, he was a big reason why Auburn stayed in the championship run when they didn't have a great start in their eventual end during the final rounds of championship play. He has had an opportunity to go to the PGA. I'm not privy to all of the details about when and how you can go, but you have to get your PGA Tour card, and he has clinched that officially. So there's been a lot of talk that if that was going to happen, it has. There's been a lot of talk once he got that, does he just go off to the PGA Tour? And I think based off his performance, he deserves to do that. Well, I have heard this said on a broadcast during the championships this last year by the announcers, and I was wondering, did they mean to say that out in public? Because there's been really no official announcement. But this is a post from PGA Tour University in case you want some extra confirmation about it. It was talked about on TV. But rising junior Jackson Koivun will forego his PGA Tour card for a year. He will be deferring it to 2026, which means, officially it seems, he will be back for Auburn men's golf next year. That is an awesome news if you're an Auburn men's golf fan, just to see him again, to lead this team as they continue to cycle through losing some of the guys that built that championship team. He can kind of do what he has been doing as an individual, but set the foundation for the future and be the eyes of college golf, and thus keep the eyes of college golf on Auburn men's golf and set them up nicely for hopefully a return to a national title in the next season. So that was some big news yesterday that I think missed a lot of people with all the Nike excitement. but wanted you to be aware that Jackson Koivun officially seems to be coming back, according to at least the PGA Tour University account and things that were said on TV. Finally, let me give you just a quick update. And I guess it's a little sad, but I just like to update you on how some of our former Auburn athletes are doing. Sonny DeShera, you'll know him from his time here at baseball and just how dynamic he was, helping lead the team to the College World Series. It seemed like every time Sonny D came up to bat, he launched one out of there, getting a start at Samford. I've seen that a lot, Samford, Auburn, and then the pros. Now, Sonny has been in the minor leagues for a long time now. I think it's like 4 or 5 years, something like that. He actually went to the Trash Pandas up in Huntsville, and there's a big contingency of Auburn fans up there, so they love seeing that. But we really haven't seen him break out of that during this time. Well, he announced yesterday that I'm going to read his phrase here. He says, "Thank you, baseball, officially putting the game behind me as I move forward into the next path in life. So many people to thank for getting me to where I made it today. Not sad as ever, just blessed that it even happened." So it seems that he is retiring from baseball, which was sad because it seems like it was a little short-lived. He has his reasons, and obviously if he felt like he was better served to be spending his life doing something else, I'm thankful that we got to see him during the prime of his baseball life as an Auburn baseball player and celebrate him because, boy, was it so fun to watch Sonny D in Plainsman Park for the time that we had him. Wishing him well on his next ventures. I'm sure he's not done being connected to the Auburn family in any way. We'll see him a lot, I'm sure. That's going to do it for episode 36 of Ever to Podcast. As always, we want to hear from you. Hit us up on email, e2cnetwork@gmail.com. If you want to talk to us, suggest topics, bring up a story that you want us to tell in the air here, that's always fair game. This is about updating people on the Auburn experience after all. You can also hit us up on DMs on social media. Do want to encourage you to make sure that you are listening to all the podcasts. Next Sunday, we'll have episode 132 of the Auburn Experience, our main show, covering major topics with my co-host, Austin. And I want to wish you all a happy early 4th of July. Might be able to do an episode for you tomorrow, since that is tomorrow. But just keep that, loose and flexible right now. And I do want to pre-warn you that next week I will be gone on a lot of needs as I go to do a family wedding out in Texas. I'm heavily involved in, obviously, the preparations and planning for that. I'm going to try to get some episodes out to you guys while I'm there. We'll see how that works out. Just some prep for the future. But all that being said, thank you for tuning in and spending some time with us and being part of our family within the Auburn family. Until we talk to you again. War Eagle.